So Arthur gave me a couple options for his request. One is a webcomic of my choosing, and the other was Goblin Slayer. Yeah, I'm gonna need a little more time before I tackle that one. So for now, let's take up the webcomic option, and return to more Slightly Damned. The last time we covered this series, I finished up the second half of Book 3. Today, I hope to get through most of Book 4, if not all of it. And I hope you like fire, because we'll be seeing a whole lot of it today. Part 7, Raising Hell, begins with Cliff, who is actually happy for once, until he finds his old friend Miros eating his wife's cookies.
Put that cookie down! Now!
Miros was just telling Buwaro and Kieri that he can't do anything about her curse, but we do get some explanation for how non-medians can survive the curse due to high magic power. He also teases us about Rhea being different before going back to ribbing Cliff. Are you mad because I've been neglecting you? You devil. I know what you want. Will you tell us the news if I gave you a KISS? Ooh, cookie blocked. How sad. He's cool with it. Anyway, Cliff says that Miranda gave birth to a baby girl named Florina. Miros offers to take Cliff out to celebrate, but Buwaro still asks if anything can be done for Kieri. He's told to see the Water Guardian, Milothis, not only because of his potential compatibility with Toski's curse, but also because of his past affinity toward angels. Rhea and Jade prepare to go out as well, while Buwaro stays with Kieri, who isn't feeling well. Otherwise, the two young adults head out to do whatever they want. Games, booze, souvenirs, let's do this! One night of rampant hedonism later. And they're wasted, as expected. They had fun, but of course they start talking of the afterlife, its denizens, and how used to it they both are. Though Rhea still has a bit of an existential crisis, especially since she has 2 friends from the afterlife. I think I get it, Snake. You ain't just helping them kids, they're helping you too. Say what? Ain't like I got a lost brother. I'm laughing in future vision. Jay then gets all philosophical about the nature of gods and if they're just people like the angels and demons. I mean, if what they were told wasn't true, then maybe the whole thing is just bullcrap. In any case, they tell Rhea to visit their friend Ramariz to show that she isn't dead, just to dispel the rumor that he murdered her. She'll think about it, and we wrap up the moment with Jay revealing they were transporting fireworks to this city. And considering how much of a pyromaniac they are, I would be surprised that they lived this long. Also, Rhea smells something familiar. But what? Okay, enough of the 2 drunks. Let's see how our favorite couple is doing. Oh God! I said it many times and I'll say it again. Poor Kieri! And of course she tries to keep it from Buwaro so we won't worry about her. Though in just a moment we'll be seeing what else she's done. After the off-panel adventures of Rhea and Jay, shown as bonus content elsewhere, Rhea shows off one of the gifts they got them. A B-shirt! Kieri puts it on, Rhea teases her and tries pulling her sleeve, and we get an implication of what she's been doing to it. The next day, Buwaro and Kieri are on shop duty while Rhea and Jay are in their hangover. Out of boredom, Buwaro sings an angelic song that gets Kieri to join in. They're then approached by Sane, Kanako, and a lizard demon named Lakritz, who was brought up before, but now we get to see him with the group. Lakritz is somewhat suspicious of Buwaro, probably because he's a demon like him, though the exact reasons will come in time. For now, Buwaro notices the wind tattoo on Kanako's arm, who explains how they show what clan they belong to. Kieri would later be asked to show hers, but she refuses for obvious reasons. We also get a bit about how angels are supposed to wear their uniforms at all times, but Kanako isn't doing that because why bother? Lakritz then suggests Kieri should do the same for reasons that will also make sense later. After they leave, our main couple is then approached by a couple of Jacki who are looking for something that will remove their winter fur. because of course spring was late and things aren't exactly peachy right now. Just in time for Cliff and family to return with newborn Florina. And yep, she's adorable. Look at that little Lynx hoodie. It's so cute. Miros also shows up. He talks about how he spent years trying to make his Mortori birds look good after being known as ominous creatures of death. He experienced everything a guardian could and is quite a drama queen. And right in front of people he was trying to avoid exposing his secret to. And he's romantic too, as he shoos the kids away so they can have their own adventure in the city. What could possibly happen? Anyway, Buwaro leaves Kieri by a fountain to get some ice cream. Kieri is happy that couples of all kinds get to be together, but is sad that there aren't any other angel or demon couples, let alone anyone who would accept their relationship. Buwaro gets a cup of ice cream, but he drops one cone after some jackass bumps into him, which is then promptly devoured by Crunky, while the other cone is meant for Kieri. Okay, he just sneaks a lick, which is totally harmless. But this is Kieri, who's worse off than she lets on. Buwaro takes her to the midway, where all the game stalls are. Moonshade is in the crowd, as well as a giant-ass dog. Buwaro is drawn over to the archery stand, which is owned by this colorful-looking Jackai. She seems nice, and her mannerisms make it clear that this is Melee, the Fire Bee Guardian. She even has hair antennae. Hello! Oh right, I forgot. She fought against demons, so she's naturally suspicious of them, especially since Kieri treats him well. But our lovebirds get to play anyway, and Kieri shows that she's not a good shot with the bow. She at least manages to hit the board 1 time out of 3, which gets her a little finger puppet of Toski. Yeah, given the light insults she had to endure during practice, and the constant pressure to meet her mother's expectations, it's clear what happened, and she unconsciously does some damage to the board. And I guess Melly doesn't know a thing about blind rage or depression, and just assumes that she's a troublemaker who keeps Buwaro as a pet. But before Kieri can try to defuse the situation, Moonshade tells them to run for it. Once they leave and Melee confronts Moonshade, this happens. Oh, don't worry about them. I doubt they're as dangerous as me. And then he was arrested for stabbing and was thrown in jail. Okay, no. But apparently, whatever that dagger is made of, or whatever it had on it, it doesn't allow Melee to regenerate. And just to show how dangerous Moonshade really is, we get this lovely frame of him showing snake features. As he transforms, Melee is shocked that he's not Moku. Of course not. I killed him. Well, things have gotten really bad. Once they're away, Buwaro checks up on Kieri, who keeps denying that something's wrong with her. I'm totally useless. I can't do anything right. I shouldn't be allowed to live. I need to just die. Nothing. No! There is clearly something wrong here. It doesn't matter because Buwaro smells the scent that Rhea did yesterday. And sure enough, it's her brother. Finally! We can reunite the siblings and expand the party. Right? Maybe? Keep watching. Naturally, Kazai is happy to see his sister again. Kieri talks about all the help she got from her friends, but Kazai isn't too understanding, and it gets worse. For instance, he complains about his recent jail time after attacking some demons, and he doesn't understand why attacking demons is a crime. This place is crawling with demons and no one cares! They treat them as if they were people! OMG! How dare we treat them like any other person? Yeah, this will be awkward if he's ever introduced to Buwaro, who's currently pulled back by Rhea and Jay. They tell him to lay low, but some guards spot the two. They committed arson recently, so they're attacking that costumed man! Ah yes, a super realistic costume. Either half the city thinks they're real while the other thinks otherwise, or everyone will believe anything. Not that it matters, because passing right by them is Melee the Fire Bee. She crashes right into the guards and kills them instantly. But Moonshade gloats over how powerless she is anyway, because she can't use fire in this city. He brings up how she caused the great fire to this tree years ago, but at this point we don't know how much of that is true. Kazai is ready to engage while Melee fades away from the venom, and she dies by exploding into flames? I told you shouldn't have eaten that spicy fire bee honey. Like with Moku, Melee dying means nature is out of whack again. And coincidentally, Rhea seems to feel it as well. Jay runs off to find their travel pets, while Kazai spots Rhea and Buwaro. He thinks about attacking them, but Kieri stops him in time. Miros then shows up in his natural form, and of course Moonshade taunts him for being absent during the Great War. Thus the two battle with claws and magic. It's an intense battle, though with how hard Miros has it, he doesn't think he can win. But he can't die here for Medius' sake, so I admit you're pretty good for a fraud, but you're no match for my ultimate technique. Yes, seriously. After sending some more Tory birds to distract him, Miros flies up into the trees and doesn't come down. He has literally flown the cube. While we don't know the exact reasoning behind this, besides preventing more magic imbalance, I know how the general public reaction will be.
Brave Sir Robin ran away. No! Bravely ran away, away. When danger reared its ugly head, he bravely turned his tail and fled.
Well, with no one to protect the civilians, that's the cue for Hell's Army to begin their invasion. We see one trio of demons that had input from a Kickstarter campaign, and it looks like Sonny and Blackritz were in on this as well, given how they handled their angel companions. Aw, and they seemed really nice. Anyway, while Kieri is worried for her friends, Kazai is angry that a supposed guardian would run away. But parts of his body look different. He's got a tail, a paw. Is he hiding something from us? Luckily, Sanjalo shows up to help in what's sure to be another fight. They have the right idea to attack Moonshade after he lost his snake form, but they also have to handle Sabo. Again, pretty intense fight, though I thought angel wings were magic-based, so why do they bleed?
It feels like it's still there.
Yeah, that's called Phantom Tail. You'll get used to it.
Right, probably something like that. Anyway, he gets kicked aside by Sabo, and we get a look at Kazai's little secret. Don't look at me! I'm turning into a furry and I don't know how to feel about it! He urges Kieri to kill the demon, though with how he looks, I'm not sure if he's angel or demon. Sabo zaps them all with lightning, then flees the battle with Moonshade. Virami shows up just as Kazai returns to normal, and they're told to join some other angels gathering in the north. Kieri's still worried about her friends, though Virami says it should be no problem. As they take off, Kazai reassures his sister that the medians can take care of themselves, but then they get attacked by someone familiar. Otherwise, seeing that Kazai is still injured, Kieri has him land safely on a roof. In the meantime, Sanjalo says he'll do a better job keeping a lookout on them, and it's clear that he's an item with Kazai.
That's good.
But they're both obsessed with destroying demons.
That's bad.
This seems like a good time for Kieri to take her brother aside and maybe talk to him about Buwaro. Well, after confirming that Kazai completely forgot about the fight they had before, she asks if he's been cursed by Broxus, the Ice Wolf Guardian. Kazai claims that Sanjalo doesn't know, even though the two are in love, given his reaction. You must think we are freaks. A water angel and a fire angel? Opposing elements in love? It's true! I'm in love with Saharaya Sanjalo! Well, that's good to hear. Now, can someone put out these flames? But seriously, this does tie into another restriction from heaven, which forbids angels from entering a relationship with each other if they have different elements. Also, I believe in the bonus section, Kazai does admit to hiding his wolf form well, but he's obviously getting by because Sanjalo looks the other way. Either he doesn't genuinely know, or he wasn't sure. All told, this relationship isn't that far off from what we've seen so far between Kieri and Buwaro. And speaking of Buwaro, when Kieri finally talks about him, Kazai is in complete disbelief about the idea that a demon would actually be nice. Why? Because he gave you a cat? Impossible! He means Crunky, who is a golden wyvern, but anyway, listen to yourself. You're being manipulated. My sister has stockholder syndrome. How messed up is your culture if that's what you really think? It just never crossed his mind that Kieri found people who were honestly supportive and helpful. Kieri even tries telling him to get off his high horse before he hurts someone, but Kazai isn't buying it, sadly. As he talks more about how demons really are, Kieri can only think of this. Snowy, help! I just wanted to eat a pickle, but now my hand is stuck. Don't tell Rhea. See? He's just a good boy. He can't even come up with a little lie that Kokichi can make fun of. Kazai decides to change the subject and get back to the task at hand, which is to catch up with the gathering angels up north. Kieri isn't sure of this since she's suspicious of Varami, but her brother overrules her in the worst way possible. What is wrong with you? How can you turn your back on your family? Your heritage? Okay, for reasons that will become more clear over the course of these books, Kazai has a lot in common with long-haired Luke from Tales of the Abyss. They're so beholden to one authority figure who treated them kindly in the past, to the point where they tuned out the experiences of everyone else. This could lead to a lot of deception and willful blindness, and all that's missing is him having caused a rock slide. Oh wait! Before he can really react to what he did, Krunky blasts him with wind magic. Kazai recovers and realizes that his sister is still reluctant to follow him. He just tells her to do what you want. Now, you would hope that Kieri will leave his ass and join her friends, but nothing is ever that simple, and she decides to stay with him. Watching them is Savo, while Moonshade is taking a longer time to recover his guardian powers. In any event, we end part 7 with Hari, one of the Kickstarter demons, arriving to receive orders from Savo. He's told to find the Sinclair wagon and fetch me the Rainbow Reverie. Hey, that rhymed. The who, what now? Ugh. Well, this certainly has been a lot to absorb, so I think we'll continue this another time. Come back in a couple months and we'll cover part 8 of this book. There's a lot of effective storytelling so far, but it can only get better from here. Until then, we'll pass the time next video by covering the first sequel to The Swan Princess. I'll see you then.
Here, I got you something.
Oh, a t-shirt. Oh, wow. Look at the funny designs. Yay.
You like it? It was on sale.